Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Dwight.
1 minute. We are live.
Good evening and welcome to the June 17th, 2024 meeting of the Lake Oswego Development Review Commission. And Administrator Kluge, would you please call the roll of commissioners present?
Chair Arthur,
Yes.
Dwight Sangre,
Here, yes.
John Dew,
Here.
Kristen Bates,
Here.
Colin Leake,
Here.
Russ O'Connor.
Here.
Very good. We have a quorum present. It's good to see all of you. But it is with sadness that I want to acknowledge the death of our dear colleague, Vice Chair Bruce Poinsett. Vice Chair Poinsett died in May of this year after our last meeting. And this is our first meeting since his passing. And I just wanted to note that Vice Chair Poinsett's thoughtful, quiet, very often insightful comments and deliberations were an important source of guidance to the DRC. And Bruce was an integral part of our commission. In fact, I anticipated he would succeed me as chair in the next term. And sadly, that was not meant to be. So let's just take a moment of silence, and I'd ask you to join me in a moment of respectful silence as we remember our dear departed colleague, Vice Chair Bruce Poinsett. Thank you very much. I also wish to note that Bruce Poinsett's family will be accepting a posthumous Distinguished Service Award presented on behalf of the city at the July 16th, 2024 meeting of the Lake Oswego City Council, and everyone's invited to attend that event. So we have before us the draft minutes of the January 23rd, 2024 DRC meeting. And these minutes have been circulated in advance to the commissioners for our review and to note any comments or changes. Commissioners, are there any suggested amendments to the minutes of our January 23rd meeting? If not, is there a motion?
I'll move acceptance of the January minutes.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Very good. Those minutes are approved. Our next item of business relates to election of chair and vice chair. And as my service on the DRC comes to an end, we're turning to the election of those new officer positions. And I just wanted to say on a personal note how deeply and sincerely I have appreciated the opportunity to work as chair of the DRC and serve as chair of the DRC. And it's been a particularly pleasure to work with commissioners of your caliber, your background, experience, insight, knowledge, and good judgment as we've guided proceedings on applications that have come before us. And I'm really consistently impressed with all the dedication, conscientiousness, and volunteer hours that you donate to the DRC and to the city. So it's really been a pleasure, truly, to work with each of you. And I thank you and Mayor Buck and the City Council, the residents of Lake Oswego, Director Namanalou, Manager Hasty, and Administrator Kluge, as well as other professional and administrative staff of the city and the general public who have participated and supported our DRC proceedings. So now it's time for officer elections for the next term. And what I have typically done is, as I did this time, invited commissioners to make nominations in advance of the meeting and with the intention of opening nominations during our meeting for additional nominations, if any, and also to allow an opportunity for commissioners to volunteer to fill those positions of chair and vice chair. And I'd like to address the nominations for chair at the moment. By the way, of course, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Each commissioner is uniquely skilled and able to fill these positions very well and to provide important guidance to the DRC. So I welcome all of you to volunteer or to be nominated for these positions. Commissioner Sangri?
Yeah, I had a question before we begin. There has been some discussion and uncertainty about the change of dates for the terms of the members of the commission and the election of officers. And I wondered whether we could get a summary review of where we stand right now from council.
Well, I think Johanna has done the research on that.
So, yeah, talking to the city manager's office, the elected chair and vice chair tonight would serve 6 months and then would be up for re-election in January. That's the January is when we're going to start, new terms and new chair appointees. But if whoever is elected tonight for either of those positions, those 6 months that you would then serve would not count against the 2-term or 2-year term that you could be reelected to in this coming January 2025.
Oh, I see. That's important clarification.
Yeah, and so, well, and I'll just add, I mean, so the point is that we have an expert, the chair is leaving the commission mid officer term, but at the end of their term. So that's why we need to fill the vacancy because of the person termination of the term.
Right. It's my understanding the schedule was changed effective the beginning of January. We at our first meeting, nevertheless, elected the chair and vice chair. Uncertain, I guess, how those terms would sequence out. But as has been stated, as I understand it, the schedule is January through the end of December each year going forward. And this year, because my term has expired, we'll be electing a chair basically mid-year to serve the next 6 months, the remainder of my term in effect.
That's
Any
correct.
other questions or comments on that?
Thank you.
Manager Hasty, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, sorry, I am struggling with technical difficulties on my own, so I'm just typing away here trying
Oh,
to
I feel better. Thank you.
reconnect. My computer doesn't want to recognize the internet right now, or my work computer, I should say. I'm on 2 different ones. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to proceed then, if there's no other discussion, on the election of the chair to preside over the next 6 months and possibly going into the future of our DRC meetings. And what I'll do is just read the nominations I received in advance of the meeting. I'll invite nominations from the floor, as it were. And I'll also urge people to volunteer for the positions. And then when we get all the names, we can vote on them. City Attorney Boone, do you have any guidance or thoughts on the logistics of voting?
Well, I think, no, you go ahead and read the names and then somebody can move a name and then we would have a vote on it. And if that doesn't get a majority, we move to the next one.
Oh, very good. Well, I appreciate that clarification. I wasn't quite picturing how this would work. The nominations I received in advance for chair are the following commissioners, and we'll welcome other nominations as well. Commissioner Dwight Sangri, Commissioner Helen Leek, and Commissioner Russ O'Connor have been nominated for chair. Now, are there other nominations from the floor other commissioners wish to make? Are there commissioners who would stand up and volunteer to serve as chair, would like to be considered as a nominee?
Could I request to not be a nominee?
I have that coming up. Yes. Do you want to remove your name?
For chair, yes.
All right. I was going to make that point, but you got ahead of me. Very well. Well, thank you, Commissioner Lee. We appreciate your considering, however briefly, your nomination for chair. And thank you for participating in tonight's meeting. So we have 2 candidates now. Is there anyone who wishes to volunteer or to nominate another name other than Commissioner Sangri or Commissioner O'Connor? And do either of those intend to, are they both willing to serve if elected?
So Randy, Commissioner Arthur, I was interested primarily in the vice chair position. So I guess in that case, I would look to remove my name from the president nomination.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Let's hope our third nominee is not similarly inclined.
Yes, I would be delighted to stand for the position of chair.
Well, very good. Then I nominate Commissioner Dwight Sangri as next chair of the Development Review Commission. Is there a second?
I second.
Second it.
Any discussion? Dwight, would you like to say anything?
No, I would be delighted to serve, and I've had a great example in the last few years from 2 chairs that I've served with, and look forward to trying to do as well if I'm elected.
Very good. I'm sure, I have no doubt you will. Well, very well. Let's call the roll, please.
Arthur,
Yes.
Dues,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Leek,
Yes.
O'Connor,
Yes.
Sangri,
I would be delighted to serve. Thank you.
Well, very good. By acclamation, then, we will recognize Dwight Sangri as the new chair of the DRC to take over as chair at the conclusion of this meeting. Congratulations, Dwight. I think the DRC will be in great hands with you and all the other commissioners and professional and administrative staff. So I feel very happy about that. Now we'll turn to the election of our new vice chair. And the nominations I received in advance for vice chair are the following commissioners: Russ O'Connor and John Dews. So I want to ask, are there other names commissioners would like to nominate, or are commissioners willing to step up and offer to serve in that position if elected? Are there commissioners who would withdraw their name from nomination as vice chair?
Actually, I would like to withdraw my name at this time. I quite honestly, I had nominated Russ O'Connor previous to you, Randy, as the vice chair, and I feel he's a much stronger candidate. So I would like to withdraw my name.
Well, very good. And
Thank
I
you, John.
appreciate that. And we all appreciate your service and look forward to your continued service on the commission, John. Well, very good. Are there any other names for vice chair? Hearing none, our candidate for vice chair is Russ O'Connor. And I nominate him. And is there a second for that?
I second.
Second?
Very good. Russ, did you have any comments you wanted to make before we vote?
I would say that I think this is an opportunity that I'm very much interested in. Also, Dwight and I have served together on the board of directors at Mountain Park for many years. One period when I was president, I think then when Dwight was president. So I know we have a good working relationship there, and I enjoy working with all of you as well.
Well, that will be a good team. Let's take a vote then on the nomination of Russ O'Connor to be our next vice chair.
Chair Arthur,
Yes.
Sangri,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Leek,
yes,
and Mr. O'Connor.
Yes, thank you.
Well, very good. We have a new vice chair, Russ O'Connor, and congratulations to our new chair and vice chair. As I said, I think that'll make a very good team along with the service of the other commissioners, supported by the professional and administrative staff. We now turn to schedule review and management update.
Thank you so much.
Manager Hasty.
Yes, thank you so much, Chair Arthur. And I just want to say, I know this is your last formal meeting. Thank you so much. You've been a pleasure to work with as the
Oh, thank you.
staff person
As have you.
and as a planning manager, so I appreciate it. I know it's a little odd, but since we're meeting on Zoom for your last official hearing, I would like to invite you back on July 1st when we are meeting again in person. We do have a Distinguished Service Award that we would like to give you and a
Oh,
chance
thank you.
to basically celebrate your service on the Development Review Commission. So we do have a hearing that night. So for the rest of the commissioners, July 1st, we do have a public hearing. It's for major variance to get a non-conforming garage, a pretty straightforward application. But that night we would also celebrate Chair Arthur's involvement with the DRC.
Thank you. Will I be the last one on the agenda? The last item? No, I'm
You'll be the
kidding.
first item on the management update. So sorry, yeah, you could probably come a little bit later that night.
No, I'm kidding.
Or, hey, for a last hurrah, you could come and listen to the whole hearing. We
Thank
will
you.
also be introducing 2 new members of the Development Review Commission. I think you've seen some communication. There's a lot of communication back and forth, so I hope it's gotten to you, but we have, the mayor has chosen 2 new members for the DRC. They're going to be officially appointed by the city council on the 16th of July. Is that correct? No, they're going to be appointed tomorrow. I'm sorry, the 18th of June. And we will get them orientated and onboarded before the next July 1st meeting, but they may or may not participate based on their comfort. But we will recognize them. Then on July 15th, we will obviously hopefully be able to adopt findings for the hearing on the 1st. But we also have another public hearing, which is an appeal or a request for a public hearing for a type 2 tree removal. So the new commissioners and the new chair and vice chair will be in the thick of it with that tree appeal. And then obviously the next meeting on August 5th, we have the adoption of findings. Hopefully, again, I'm just assuming that each of these hearings will just be a one-night hearing, but you know how those can carry over, they can be continued. So on August 5th, we would have the adoption of findings. There is the potential for an appeal of a staff level decision for a 2-parcel minor partition. So just kind of putting that out there, there might be a hearing that night as well, which would then mean on August, need to get reading glasses, 19th, we would have adoption of findings. So starting today, we've got basically a full schedule for the next several months for the DRC. Again, remember, it's the 1st and 3rd Mondays. So hopefully everyone is able to attend. If you can't, please let Kat know as soon as possible, and we will make sure that we have a quorum. So sorry, I'm speaking off the cuff because I'm suddenly denied access to my work computer. And I think I've hit the highlights. July 1st, July 15th, August 5th, August. Yes, I think those are the highlights. I will, in the morning, send out an email just with that tentative schedule, just to make sure that I've gotten all of those correct. Any questions about that or notes? Anything I should know in the meantime?
Joanna, I guess you had mentioned the 2 new members, and at some point, if that can be more formally announce to us?
Yes, absolutely. So after they are officially appointed by the council tomorrow, I will send out a welcome to the DRC email to both of them and get them get a orientation and onboarding scheduled with them. And I'll also let you know who they are and can introduce them to the rest of the commission. I'm really excited to have both of them coming
Thank you.
with some good project management and design experience. So it'll be a fun full slate coming up this summer for everyone.
Well, with that active schedule, it sounds like this is a good time for my term to expire. Is there anything else we need to discuss at tonight's meeting?
I am not aware of anything. Again, there might be something. If there is, I will reach out to you all by email and let you know.
Okay, very good. Well, as we adjourn this DRC meeting, I want to virtually pass the gavel on to our next chair, Chair Sangre.
Evan's going to have to step out of the way, I think.
And I look forward to a successful year of and continued DRC performance in your good hands. And if there's no objection, then the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Randy.
you all very
Thank you
much.
all.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you,
Thank you
Randy.
all very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Thank you,
Bye now.
Randy.